Hi there. We're on day 192 of our Through the New Testament in 1 year, and today we are starting Acts chapter 17. Remember Paul, yesterday, the angels came right? And they released him, right? They were in prison. The angels knocked the prison down, but they didn't escape, right? And the guard and his whole family ended up getting saved. And when they found out they were treating Roman citizens as common Jews, they got really scared and begged them to leave, right? So now they're going to Thessalonica. Remember the Thessalonians. Right. Then they traveled through Amphipolis and Apollonia and came to Thessalonica, where there was a Jewish synagogue. As usual, Paul went to the synagogue and on 3 Sabbath days, that's 3 weeks, right, reasoned with them from the scriptures, explaining and showing that the Messiah had to suffer and rise from the dead. This Jesus I am proclaiming to you is the Messiah. Then some of them were persuaded and joined Paul and Silas, including a great number of God-fearing Greeks, as well as a number of leading women. Not a few. Riot in the city. There you go. But the Jews became jealous, and they brought together some scoundrels from the marketplace, formed a mob, and started a riot in the city, attacking Jason's house. They searched for them to bring them out to the public assembly. When they did not find them, they dragged Jason and some of the brothers before the city officials, shouting, "These men have turned the world upside down and have done and down and came here too. And Jason has received them as guests. They are all acting contrary to Caesar's decree, saying that there is another king, Jesus." Oh, brother. They lie, don't they? The Jews stirred up the crowd and the city officials who heard these things. So taking a security bond from Jason and the others, they released them out on bail, right? The Bereans and the scripture. As soon as it was night, the brothers sent Paul and Silas off to Berea. On arrival, they went into the synagogue of the Jews. The people here were more open-minded than those in Thessalonica, since they welcomed the message with eagerness and examined the scriptures daily to see if these things were so. Yeah. Consequently, many of them believed, including a number of prominent Greek women as well as men. But when the Jews from Thessalonica found out that God's message had been proclaimed by Paul at Berea, they came there too, agitating and disturbing the crowds. And the brothers immediately sent Paul away to go to the sea, but Silas and Timothy stayed on there. Those who escorted Paul brought him as far as Athens, and after receiving instructions for Silas and Timothy, they came to him as quickly as possible. They departed, right? So now he's in Athens, now he's in Greece, right? Talking to the Greeks. Man. You know, Jesus had trouble with these same people, and they just won't see the Messiah. And it's that they do not want to give up their own power and comfort. Okay? Does it go on today? You bet it does. Okay? There are still a very, very large number of Israelites and Jewish people that do not believe Jesus was the Messiah. Even though it was talked about, okay, when Paul and all the other apostles were talking about Jesus in the scriptures, they didn't have the New Testament, okay? Okay, the New Testament was written about 50 AD, okay, or CE as they call it now, right? Christ's era. So they were using scriptures. They were using Psalm 22, and they were using Isaiah, and they were using Daniel, and and many of David's preachings, and Jesus is all over the Old Testament. But they don't want to give up their power, okay? They're waiting for another Messiah who will come down and just take over and take all of them in as part of the palace and rule everything. It'll happen, but not the way they think, right? So there you go. That's day 192. We'll continue in Acts 17 tomorrow, right? They're in Athens. So there you go. Catch up on any amendments. They're short videos and easy to catch up on. So, and give us a like if you think about it, and we'll continue tomorrow. See you then.